Again, today is Sunday, December 14, 2025, and I decided to do another regular video. I've been doing a lot of shorts lately. In this video, I just wanted to talk about this new helicopter that I put together. I designed a new frame for this rewound brushless motor that I did for the Bumblebee rather. There's a Bumblebee in 3D printed form as well. You know, it's got a 3D printed frame. The original one had fiberglass a frame with some nylon struts and nylon skids. You know, you can see those videos also in my shorts. And also had injection molded parts. This one has a 3D printed, like I said, for the frame as well as the mechanics. But these mechanics are very simplistic, as you can see them here. We do a comparison with this particular rotor head. It's a little bit different. This is a lot more fluid here, and it's very precise in terms of control. This one too works, but this is a lot more fluid and better, as I just said. So I decided to do this boxy looking frame. You know, my frames are very stylish, and I like to have that flair in my designs here. You can see I spend quite a bit of time when I came up with the name Bumblebee, and I wanted the design of the helicopter to justify the name Bumblebee, to look like a bumblebee in color, not only in color but also in look. Obviously, this doesn't look like a bumblebee physically, but you know it does represent the name quite well, I think. And so that's why I did this frame that way, and just because I like I said, I like certain angles and lines, just my own way. Uh, Doing the motor this way, it was a little bit difficult because I can't access the connector in the center, the coupler, and then this one is done in Elevon mix configuration. You can see this wash plate is also for Elevon mix, and this one right here, I decided to do just a boxy frame, just to house the components a little, just to make it easier to install the components and access, that coupler that couples the motor shaft to the main rotor shaft. So let me bring this around here so we can see what I'm talking about. From this angle, you can see how that coupler is a lot more visible in this way, and also the servos are all done from the front, so it's really easy to work on. This one is a little more, you have to turn the helicopter around, to from angles, to work on the servos, to turn it another way to work on the motor, etc. But this one is really very in a logical form. It's very basic and easy to access. The whole motor with the landing gear drops. That's another feature of this particular one, by removing these landing gear screws that are holding to the frame. I can say the same thing about this. You can just drop the landing gear along with the base of the supporting the motor on this one here, but this is a little more boxy, and it also supports a 1/4 inch diameter aluminum tube versus these carbon rods that I was employing back in the day, because I wanted to keep everything lighter. These days we can get away with a little more weight because we're using some new technology batteries. So some of the things that I've been working on, I already flew this, and now I'm sort of trying to rework these things so they're a little more clean up all this wiring, because there's a lot of extra wiring here. So I'm going to clean up the electronics so that everything is set up on this shelf right here that I designed this helicopter with. This also is going to use, I'm also working on a full stabilization system for these helicopters, and this is just one of them. That can sit, on top or on the bottom there. This section right here is actually meant for a battery. I don't have the battery with me; it's in my shop, but it's basically that size battery that fits. It's supposed to fit right there, and the canopy can also be installed. Once that's on in place, and it doesn't take away from the looks of the helicopter. It's not too distracting. This is the reason why I have all these canopies. Also, there's another canopy that will work quite well right there. and it's part of my 3D CAD design. This particular shape, and I also have this other canopy that I developed for a Wakira upgrade that I did for one of the early Wakira helicopters. I did this along with some really spiffy tail guards, just like the tail guard here is done. This is my own tail guards. They're very stylish and very unique. So this wire right here, as I showed in my other video, is a telephone cable wire that I employ on some of these connections, and I use this wire because it's stiff, but it can be a little brittle if you twist it too much at the connection points. The wires tend to crack and break. So you can only do this provided you support the end, meaning this end right here, on the helicopter, so it doesn't bend and twist. So it's a little more. It requires a little more finesse, with this cable. But I do like it because it is a nice stiff cable, and the wires do not heat up. There is a regular PVC wiring just to do of this particular size. So it's quite a nice a way to recycle, these cables, which I have tons of. You may also have some of these laying around, and people throw away these things. I don't throw anything. I keep it because everything is reusable, recyclable. Mario, once again, stay tuned for more.